For item number 16, we are tasked to get the impulse response of a specific difference equations using its first order system and second order system. To start the code, as usual, we're going to clear everything. Going to clear the workspace and the variables as well as the previous codes. For the first order system, in the b variable, we're going to store there the x coefficients of the first equation or the first order system. While in the a variable, we're going to store here the y coefficients of the first equation or the first order system. And then for the y variable, this is where we're going to store the value of the impulse response. And to get the impulse response, we're going to use the function called dimpulse with the parameter using the x and y coefficients of the equation as well as the length of that equation. In plotting the first order system or the impulse response of the first order system, the x-axis label, we're going to have this label. The y-axis label would be amplitude, and the title of the graph would be impulse response of the first order system. For the second order system, just like the first one, we're going to store in the b variable the x coefficients, but this time the x coefficients of the second equation or the second order system. For the a variable, we're going to store the y coefficients of the second equation. Just like the first one, we're also going to use the impulse. And it's going to have the same labels just like the first one, but this time the title of the graph would be impulse response of second order system. So run the code. And as we can see, the first one, the impulse response for the first order system, from 0 to 10, we can clearly see that it is not changing much, but it is somehow increasing, and when it comes to the 9th frequency, it drops a little bit, and then from the 10th frequency, it goes up to 5. And then for the impulse response of the second order system, we can see that it is alternating up and down. Here we see that it went up and then it went down and then so on and so forth. And that is it for the for the item number 16, which is the impulse response of the first order and second order system.